Many people believe that moving to the first floor is the smartest choice as they grow older. It feels easier, doesn't it? No climbing stairs, no heavy breathing after each step, no worry about carrying groceries up. On the surface, it looks like the perfect solution. But life has a way of teaching us that what seems like comfort can sometimes carry hidden weight. The truth is, as the years pass, our bodies and minds change in ways that ask for more care, not less. Convenience alone doesn't always equal safety. Think for a moment about what it means to live close to the ground. The air can feel heavier there, more damp, especially in rainy or humid seasons. The sunlight is often weaker, blocked by trees or nearby buildings. And from the window, the sounds of the street are louder, sharper, sometimes even unsettling. All these little things may not seem important in your 30s or 40s, but by the time you reach your 70s, even these subtle influences can affect your breathing, your sleep, even your sense of calm. It isn't a flaw in you, it isn't weakness, it's simply the natural dialogue between your body and the space around you. When you were younger, you might not have noticed that certain rooms made you feel tired or restless. Now, with age, awareness grows sharper. Spaces whisper to you, and your body listens more closely. Aging, in this sense, is not about loss, it's about learning to notice what truly nurtures you and what quietly drains you. And here is something important. There's no shame in realizing that the place you once thought was best for you might not be serving you as well anymore. Home should never be a silent thief of your energy. It should feel like a gentle hand that supports you each day. Sometimes the first floor can take more than it gives, and just recognizing that truth is the beginning of wisdom. So I want to invite you to reflect gently. How do you actually feel in the space where you live now? Do you wake refreshed, or do you feel like your home itself weighs on your shoulders? Does the air feel clean and open, or heavy and tiring? Asking these questions is not about criticism, it's about compassion, for yourself, for the years you've lived, and for the care you deserve moving forward. And since every story is unique, I'd truly love to hear yours. Are you living on the first floor now, or have you ever considered it? What has your experience been with it? Share in the comments where you are, because your reflections might help someone else realize something important about their own home. Let me share with you the story of Margaret. She was 74 when she decided to move into a first-floor apartment. Her knees had been troubling her for years, and she thought, very reasonably, that avoiding stairs would bring her the comfort she longed for. At first, it seemed like a gift. No more climbing, no more stopping halfway up to catch her breath. But within a few months, something began to change. Margaret noticed she was coughing more often, and she felt unusually tired in the mornings. At first, she thought it was just age catching up with her, but then her doctor pointed out the mold quietly growing behind the wall near her window. The damp air of the first floor was seeping into her lungs every night. I tell you this not to frighten, but to remind you that sometimes the problems we feel in our bodies are not about weakness or decline. They are about the spaces we live in. Your body is always in conversation with your environment, and it's wise to listen. If you wake up tired, if you find your breathing a little heavier than it used to be, sometimes the reason lies not within you, but in the air you breathe at home. There are small, gentle steps you can take to protect yourself. Begin by looking around your space with a caring eye. Corners, window frames, behind furniture, these are the places where dampness hides. If you see even a hint of mold, treat it quickly and with kindness toward yourself, because clean air is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Consider using a small dehumidifier, especially in rainy seasons, to help the air feel lighter. An air purifier can be a quiet companion that keeps your lungs at ease. And don't underestimate the healing power of sunlight. Keeping your curtains open during the day, letting light in, can make both your space and your mood brighter. None of this is about doing everything perfectly. Life at this stage is not a race for perfection, but a journey toward comfort and peace. If you take just one small action, perhaps opening the windows for a few minutes each morning or checking the walls once a month, you are already giving yourself more care than many people ever think to. Margaret eventually found ways to improve her home's air, and she told me how much lighter she felt once she made those changes. She laughed and said, "I thought I was just getting old, but it was my apartment that was aging me faster." Her words carry a truth worth remembering. Sometimes it isn't our years that make us tired, but the environment we live in. If any part of her story resonates with you, let it be a gentle nudge to look around your own space. Ask yourself, with kindness, does the air here make me feel supported? Do I feel rested in the morning? These questions are invitations, not obligations, and the answers can guide you towards small shifts that bring more comfort into your days. And if reflections like these feel valuable to you, I invite you to stay close, to subscribe, because I share thoughts and gentle reminders like this often. Together, we can keep learning how to shape our surroundings in ways that honor the years we've lived and the care we now deserve. What many people don't realize is that the body you live in at 70 is not the same as the body you had at 40, even if your spirit still feels young. The lungs, for example, become a little less elastic with time. They don't expand and contract as easily, which means that even small irritations, like damp air, dust, or exhaust drifting in from the street, can feel heavier than before. The immune system, too, is quieter now. It still protects you, but not with the same vigor, and so what once would have been a minor annoyance can now linger, turning into coughs that take weeks to fade or fatigue that doesn't lift as quickly. Living close to the ground often means breathing in air that carries more particles from cars, pollen, and even mold spores that thrive in shaded corners. For a younger body, this might barely register. For you, it can influence sleep, energy, even your mood in ways that are subtle but real. And then there's the noise. Street sounds, cars passing, footsteps outside, voices drifting through the window create tiny disturbances that you may not even notice at first, but the body does. Science shows us that noise triggers a stress response, raising levels of cortisol, the hormone that keeps you alert. In small doses, this isn't harmful, but when it happens night after night, your sleep becomes lighter, your rest less restorative. You might wake up not knowing why you feel unrested, only that something inside you feels unsettled. None of this means you are fragile or broken. It simply means your body is wiser now, more attuned to what surrounds it. With age, you have earned the right to environments that soothe rather than challenge you. If you notice yourself sighing more often, if you find it harder to take a deep breath, or if your nights are restless without clear reason, it might not be just age. It might be your body's way of asking for a kinder space. What would it feel like if your home supported you instead of demanding energy from you? Can you imagine the relief of air that feels lighter, quieter nights, mornings when you wake refreshed? These are not impossible dreams. They are signs pointing you toward adjustments that honor the stage of life you are in now. Aging, after all, is not about surrendering. It is about choosing more carefully where and how you spend your strength. Your body, in its quiet wisdom, is already guiding you. The question is simply whether you allow yourself to listen. Another tender shift can be made in the very place where you rest. When a bed sits too close to the floor, the cooler, damper air collects right where you breathe most deeply. Raising your bed even slightly, with a frame or supportive blocks, can help your nights feel lighter, your breathing easier. Think of it as giving your lungs a little more kindness while you sleep. The ground at the first floor can be treacherous in unexpected ways. Wet shoes, a quick drizzle, or even morning dew brought inside can create a slick surface. A simple non-slip mat by the door is not just a piece of fabric, it is a quiet guardian against falls that could disrupt the freedom you cherish. And then there is the air itself. A few gentle, leafy plants, chosen with care so they are safe for grandchildren or pets, can bring both beauty and purification. They remind you that life still grows, still renews itself, even in the corners of a small room. These little companions can make breathing feel more joyful, and the presence of green has a way of softening the heart. When you hear these suggestions, you might feel the temptation to think, I should be doing all of this. But I invite you instead to pause and ask, which one small thing would make me feel lighter this week? Aging is not about rushing or proving. It is about pacing yourself with wisdom. One change, carried out gently, already sets you on the path toward a safer, kinder home. Imagine how it might feel to sit in your chair, knowing your door is secure, your floor is steady, your air is clearer. Each adjustment is like placing a soft hand on your own shoulder, reminding you that you are worthy of comfort and care. None of this is about preparing for disaster. It is about creating more space for peace, for deep breaths, for rest that truly restores you. What small step feels right for you today? That quiet question, answered with honesty and compassion, is how transformation begins. Not in leaps, but in steady, tender choices that honor the life you are still beautifully living. Do you feel lighter in your breathing, or do you notice a heaviness that seems to follow you indoors? Do you step inside and feel a sense of peace, or do you feel yourself tighten as though you must guard against something? These are not tests with right or wrong answers. They are invitations to notice what your heart and body already know. Sometimes all it takes is honest listening to realize that the space you thought was serving you is, in truth, asking too much from you. And that realization can open the door to change. I have seen many people at 70 or 80 make decisions they once feared. They moved not because they were weak, but because they were strong enough to honor their needs. And in those choices, they found new energy, new rest, even new joy. It is never too late to reshape your surroundings so they care for you as much as you have cared for others throughout your life. Aging teaches us that strength is not in stubbornness, but in adaptability. There is courage in saying, I deserve better. There is dignity in choosing comfort over struggle. And there is profound wisdom in recognizing that the true measure of independence is not where you live, but how free you feel within the life you have built. So let this be a soft encouragement. Take a moment today to reflect not just on whether your space is convenient, but whether it is truly kind to you. If the answer is no, perhaps it is time for a gentle shift. And if you have ever made such a change or even thought about it, I would love to hear your story. What guided your decision, or what keeps you where you are now? Share it in the comments below. Your voice might be the very one that helps another soul see that change is not loss, but a new beginning. And if you wish for more guidance, for more gentle reflections like this, stay with me. Together, we can keep finding ways to live with more safety, more peace, and more grace in every season of life.